If you hit $10,000 a month in your agency, this is the stuff that you absolutely need to know and execute on, or you will go broke. And that's not just me saying this. This is as close to a guarantee as it actually gets. Now, take this from someone who has gotten a lot further than $10,000 a month in two different businesses, plus the one that I've been building in front of you all, Vintascale, my AI marketing agency. A lot of traps happen at 10K a month that completely blindside most people. If you're not at 10K a month yet, stick around, because if you consume the content on this channel, period, it's only a matter of time before you get there. In fact, you'll probably get there quite soon, and then this stuff will be that much more relevant. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Pablo. I'm the founder of Vintascale, a B2B AI marketing agency. We currently generate over $250,000 a month in deal flow for our clients, primarily using AI and cold email, and we also help them design and convert premium offers. Now, I'm making this video because my goal is very simple. It's to help you make more money, because when you make more money, you will trust me more. You'll become a client of mine and make even more money, and then I'll make money because you'll pay me my fee, and then we'll all be richer. Now, again, I've done this twice now, two different businesses, scaling them to north of 20K a month and to 50K a month, both in 8 weeks each. I've embedded the case study here. This is also on my channel if you want to go take a look at that. And now I'm building my marketing agency, Vintascale, in real time in front of you all, which I've been documenting on this channel pretty much since day one. These files and documents are part of a daily real-time documentation of my business and serve as a real-time playbook on how to scale a seven-figure business in the world of AI. I make no income claims. My results are not typical. I'm simply documenting what I'm doing in real time, along with our learnings and real-time results, so that you know without a shadow of a doubt that this stuff works. Again, if it's your first time here, I put out no BS content. I would recommend you download this document for free once you're done watching this and go through it to make sure you're applying it, because most people binge content but don't ever actually do anything. That's why they stay poor. Here's about $500,000 in social proof, about $30,000 worth of deals generated in 7 days, case study on how I built and scaled two multi-six-figure businesses, a cold email architecture and funnel that we designed for a client that's generating about $40,000 a week for them. They're an active client of ours. Screenshots of us handing off six-figure deals to clients, about $100,000 in deals with internal campaigns, more routine campaigns that we generate internally, client case study testimonials, how we build the architecture, so on and so forth. Watch my content, download this document, apply it, and you will become one of the most lethal cold emailers and entrepreneurs on the planet. Now, the traps at 10K a month. So please note that the traps at 10K a month are largely mental. And if you're doing this right, you won't even have time to notice that you're at 10K a month. You should just be riding the momentum all the way to 30K a month and then 50K a month. But let's get granular first, and then we'll come back to this mental piece. So let's talk about client acquisition channels and the fact that one of the real problems here at 10K a month is just a simple lack of maximization, meaning you still have a lot of juice left to squeeze out of the client acquisition channels. So if you're not doing cold email, there's people who are at 10K a month who run a business, B2B business, who are doing cold email, and then those who are not. If you are not doing cold email, you absolutely need to be using cold email. You absolutely need to be doing cold email, or else you will burn out and you will max out your time or your budget constraints as a founder. So think of cold calling. There's only so many, I can't speak today. There's only so many cold calls you can make. At 10K a month, you already have clients. There's only so much time you have for generating new business with cold calling. Unless you are receiving an abundance of inbound leads, then this is a real problem, right? So unless you're getting an abundance of referrals, which is probably not happening yet at 10K a month, then spending all your time doing outbound is a real problem. You need something faster. You need something faster that isn't expensive, which only leaves you with cold email. So point being, you need to employ cold email, not just for defensive positioning, so that you don't fall back down to 5K a month, but because your clients will churn. Your clients are going to churn. I don't know any agency that has kept a client forever, like actively servicing them all the time, and specifically marketing agencies. Now, you'll need to bring in more clients than you churn, right? So you're going to need to bring more clients in than you churn. But also for offensive positioning, and here's what I mean by that in summary. If you're not doing cold email, you should be, because under 10K a month, you have obvious budget constraints, or you don't have enough money to do much. You're not making anywhere near enough to spend the money on ads necessary to scale and get results. You don't have time, so you have real budget and time constraints. And you need to be focused on hitting the next milestone. You need to be offensively minded as quickly as possible. You need to be focused on hitting the next milestone as quickly as possible, because a lot of this is about momentum. People lose momentum. We all know what that feels like. To start a new business, hit 5K a month, hit 10K a month, and then we just lose momentum. We get bored, we get tired, whatever it is, right? Life happens, family happens. You got to get to the next milestone as quickly as possible. The longer you sit at a certain income range, the harder it is, because you have to, not because it's skillfully harder, but mentally you have to get yourself out of this rut. The way to do this, the way to get to the next milestone as quickly as possible is with cold email. It's the easiest way to scale up or down. It's the only client acquisition channel that you can scale up or down as far as you want at any time. You can't scale referrals up or down whenever you want. And you can do so with the budget that you would have at 10K a month. Now, I won't get into this here, the whole scaling up and down piece. Just trust me on this. Cold email serving as the best client acquisition channel under 30K a month. Just trust me on this. But if you do want a more in-depth explanation range, see this video right here that I put out a day or two ago for more details. This is how to make $100,000 with AI cold email as fast as possible. So cold email allows you to leap to income milestones very quickly because you can send massive amounts of cold emails. And when layered with AI, which is what we talk about on this channel, you can send a massive amount of personalized, relevant emails that have a one-to-one touch. And that's very important. That's something you can't get anywhere else. So if you haven't installed cold email as a client acquisition channel into your business yet, and you are at 10K a month, it's kind of dumb. And I'm not sure what your plan is to scale to big boy territory, but I'm giving you the blueprint here. Now, that's if you aren't doing cold email. If you are doing cold email, well, then just send more emails, because again, there's more juice left to squeeze out of this client acquisition channel. And if the emails are not converting, then we need to have a separate conversation, because you're leaving massive amounts of money on the table with what is almost always an easy fix. And I have ample videos on my channel for free, showing you how to diagnose these issues. You can start with the deliverability masterclass embedded in this full course. It's at the 5 hour and 9 minute mark. So I've embedded it here, the video, okay? Let's go to 5 hours and 9 minutes. You'll learn everything you need to know about deliverability, why your emails might be landing in spam, so on and so forth. This is stuff that I used to literally scratch my head over. I used to pull my hair out over the stuff. And then I figured out how to, do my thing. And now we're all fine and dandy there. Anyway, takeaway, maximize your client acquisition channel. Squeeze all the juice out of it possible. With cold email, that means send as many cold emails as consistently possible. Do not lose momentum. There's no client acquisition channel at 10K a month that you can get more ROI out of than cold email. It's just the math. It's just proven. It's just results. Take this as someone who's done ads at a high level. I've done cold calling at a high level. I used to do 100 cold calls a day. That's not a joke. You can look at my LinkedIn. I was the number one account executive at the number one agency, staffing recruitment agency for accounting and finance in Canada. And I was a top performer. I do cold calling very well. I do ads very well. Cold email, if you are at 10K a month, if you are anything be under 30K a month, it's undisputedly the best client acquisition channel, the best cold outbound channel. And the debate starts to happen when you go from 30K to 50K a month, because you got to layer it. The best CA channel there is when you layer cold email with ads. It's not one or the other. It's the layered combination. But anyway, you get my point. Now, 10K a month. So the next trap is that 10K a month is an illusion. It's a milestone that was popularized by who knows who to signify some sort of status. And I will tell you this, and anyone who's gone past 10K a month will likely agree with me. I will tell you this, nothing changes at 10K a month. Nothing about the business changes at 10K a month except the founder's attitude. And at 10K a month, you likely don't have employees. Maybe a VA, maybe, but likely not. It's just you and your co-founder. So nothing changes about the business except the founder's attitude. And when it comes to their attitude, it's the fact that they almost always slow down their output because they hit 10K a month. They think they're just going to be able to ride the coattails to 30, 50 and beyond. And this is why consistently staying above 10K a month is so hard is so hard to do for most founders if it's their first time. Especially if it's their first time. Now, you must install this into your head. 10K a month means nothing. It means nothing. You likely haven't hired anyone yet at this point. It is just more capital to reinvest into the business. That is how you need to look at this. It's just you have more capital to reinvest into the business. What happens instead is when people hit 10K a month in their business expenses rise up magically as a direct byproduct of the owner getting caught up. The owner gets caught up. They're too into their head. They're like, oh yeah, I'm a 10K a month founder now. I'm a 10K a month business owner. They get caught up and they go right back down. Why? Because they have unnecessary costs. They buy unnecessary tools. They buy unnecessary expenses, unnecessary memberships, whatever it is, on top of lifestyle expenses. We haven't even mentioned that, but they just get messy and sloppy with the actual business and business expenses. So let me be very clear. Your only real cost increases should be going towards the following: infrastructure. So if it's cold email, more inboxes on reserve, so on and so forth. So you don't have to wait 2 weeks in onboarding a client to do the warm up. You can onboard and start launching within 7 days, for example. You have inboxes on reserve to rotate so that your current inboxes don't get burnt, so on and so forth. You can just send more emails, right? It's just better. Anyway, so infrastructure and then marketing material. So you can do cold email at a higher level, maybe content, whatever it is, but marketing material and infrastructure. So, which brings me to my next point. You need to seriously be thinking about building runway for your agency. This is something I regret not doing sooner. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you know my story of making a substantial amount of cash and then going broke and repeating that cycle twice over before getting here. You need to be thinking about building runway. So emergency savings for your business, not for your life, but for your business expenses. 6 months of runway is what you should be aiming for at a minimum. This means you have to know your numbers. Know your numbers. Track everything retroactively, so what you've done in the past, and track everything moving forward. Every single expense needs to be tracked. No penny, no dollar goes in my business and or out of my business without me knowing about it and knowing where it came from and knowing where it's going or where it went. Track everything. Every week, every Sunday, I sit down and I track. I do my numbers. Always do your numbers. Do your numbers every week. Don't do it every month. Do your numbers every week. Just trust me on this. Do your numbers every week. Then, like so much of your competitive advantage, because this is a competition, we will get into that in a second in this document, in this file. So much of your competitive advantage will just come from being a better manager than other people, a better business owner than other people. Because so many people take themselves out of the game because they just get sloppy here and there, and this the death by 1,000 cuts kind of thing. That's what happens. So that's why they forget to cancel this membership. They forget to do this. And then it just adds up. I'm telling you, that's how it happens. Anyway, so track everything and then store up at least 6 months of runway. Winter is coming. Everything is seasonal. So is business. Winter is coming. You'll have great seasons and tough seasons that you got to be able to stick out and ride out. Lasting the winter is a big part of how you beat out other agencies. Don't ever think that this is not a competition. Sorry if you don't want it to be, but it is. It is. Lasting the winter is a big part of how you beat out other agencies. Most founders destroy themselves. So much of this game of business and entrepreneurship and winning and making a ton of capital, so much of this game at 10K a month specifically is not losing to the natural selection of business. There's natural selection. There's a reason why, 90, what's this? Someone pull up the stat. There's a reason why, I don't know what the stat is, but let's just say 99% of entrepreneurs or businesses fail. It's not because of anything magical. It's just natural selection and people just being sloppy. That's it. So don't do dumb stuff. People just are dumb. Don't do dumb stuff. I won't tell you how to budget. I'm not going to tell you how to budget. It's your agency. Right? You have to think about the lifestyle you want to live. We all got into business because we want to create a life of our own, right? So I'm not going to tell you how to budget. Just don't do dumb stuff. It's that simple. It's only that simple. Don't make it any more complicated than that. Don't do dumb stuff. Know your numbers. Run your numbers every week. And don't do dumb stuff. Now, think about this. If I, Pablo, as a fellow agency owner and business owner, if I really wanted to be malicious, right? If I really wanted to be malicious and take you out of the game right now, like in the next week or two, if I really wanted to be malicious and take you out of the game right now as a competitor, I would do the exact following things. I would create 2 cold email campaigns, each of those pitching deal generation with the following angles. I would contact companies in your niche. It's not that hard to figure out what niche you operate in. I'll just look you up. I would contact companies in your niche who are working with an agency, right, who aren't doing cold email, right? And so let's just say you're not doing cold email, right? I would contact companies in your niche who are working with an agency who aren't doing cold email. So it'd be your client. And I would sell them on the fact that they need to be working with an agency like mine who does do cold email for the multitude of reasons explained on this channel, but simply because we can get them results, like way better results. Second, if you are doing cold email, I will just offer my services at a cheaper rate than you. I'll go price. That would be the angle, because I have more runway, right? I've done. You have 3 months of runway. I have 6, or you have 6 months of runway. I have 12. I will offer it at a cheaper rate than you because I have more runway / capital than you, and I know I can outlast you. Right? So I'll just keep offering them this. If you do already do cold email, I'll offer them this at a cheaper rate, and I'll get them on price, and I'll just undercut myself for a little bit. This is so hypothetical. I don't have time to do this, but I'm just saying how other agencies are naturally positioned right now. Like, if there are other agencies who operated in your niche, who wanted more clients, who needed your clients, this is how naturally this would happen. They'll offer things at a cheaper rate than you. And if your clients are not affected by price, I will go in with a $0 upfront offer, proposing, I would just allow them to A/B test me against you. Right? And I will simply use my extra capital to get better results. So I will say, hey, let me just do this without any upfront cost. And if I can beat out your current agency, which is you, by 10%, then you hire me. That would be the offer I propose. Right? All this happens, and I can do all this because if you're at 10K a month, I have a bigger budget than you. Right? And all this happens because you didn't have runway. We're all tying this back to runway. That's that. You doing dumb stuff. It opens you up to these things. It opens you up to getting your clients just poached, just like this. And the other agencies in your space, they wouldn't even be doing it to spite you or to get at you, but it's just naturally how it's going to happen. The client, they're going to reach out to your client. The client's going to respond to them saying, hey, I'm already working with another agency. Unless you can do this for me cheaper. That's what's going to happen. And then the other agency is going to say, oh, okay, yeah, sure, we can do that. Or this is, this is exactly, oh my goodness. You guys have no idea how cold-blooded the sport can be. I mean, some of you do. But listen, I have these calls recorded, guys. I reached out to a client. I still have all the email threads. I reached out to a prospect was working with an agency. They said, contact me back in 3 months. And by the way, we don't work with any agencies who charge up front. And this is when I first really needed clients. So I was like, hey, I don't charge anything up front. I was taking the hit on like a credit card, right? So I was like, I don't offer anything up front. I don't charge anything up front. And then he's like, okay, well, then let's get on a call. When are you free? It was that easy. And then he was using the both of us, and then I beat out the other. Well, I let the client go, but for the time that I was there, it didn't work out. But for the time I was there, I was beating out his other agency. So if I wanted to, I could have just outlasted them, and that client was mine. So it's that easy. It's that easy. All this happens because you don't have runway, you don't have capital, and this is business strategy. It's not enough for me to show you how to use AI on this channel. Again, you can learn that in a week working with me. I'll make you like a killer, like lethal with AI and cold email. Whatever you want. You want to be the best copywriter, we'll do all that. But that happens very quickly. What you need to understand is a business strategy. If I'm going to get you from $10,000 to $50,000 every single month, this is the stuff you need to know. You need to have a real understanding of the business landscape. So do you see how cold this game can be? This is what I'm trying to prepare you for. Offensive and defensive positioning always. You have to set yourself up with both. Cold email to do the offensive and runway to position yourself defensively. Someone like me out there will take you out. So someone with the business knowledge and the resources will take you out. Whether sometimes it just might be a 16-year-old kid who doesn't know what he's doing. He's naive, but he just does one of these things by accident, and then he or she or they poach your clients. It happens like that. This is why it's so cutthroat, and you need to get to 50K a month, because then we'll talk not exit strategies, but we'll talk succession plans and things like that. So this is always an invisible threat that you are actively dealing with, but that disappears simply by, number one, integrating cold email as a client acquisition channel for you and your services, right? So let's say you're selling cold email deal generation, or let's say you're selling Facebook ads or SEO or whatever it is. You use cold email to do the outreach, or you offer cold email for your client. Number two, this vulnerability disappears by just building runway. And number three, investing in the tools and infrastructure required to get results at a high level. Right? So do you see how these align directly with each one of the vulnerabilities that I would attack if I was your competitor? So let's go back again. So if I was trying to poach your clients, right? And again, most of the time this happens by accident. Very rarely does it happen maliciously. Most of the time it happens by accident. But someone might be reaching out, again, intentionally or by accident, to your client and offer them cold email, right? Or say we can do your Facebook ads better, and whatever, I don't know, you use cold email to enhance your offering, point being, right? If you're already using cold email in your own business, then that's not a way that you can have your client poach. You're not vulnerable to that. Now, next thing is they might come in at a cheaper rate than you, your competitor. But if you have runway, then you don't need to worry about that, right? Because you can either just lower your price, which I would never tell you to do, but you can just offboard them. You can stay firm and offboard them and let them go as a client, fire them as a client, and you can last the winter because you have runway. And number three, if they're not affected by price, someone might come in and offer to work with no upfront payment. Because, and what they will do is just use their extra capital to get better results. But if you have invested your capital in the right way, you just have more tools and infrastructure to get results better than anyone else can. That's that, right? My clients aren't going to go to you because I have more infrastructure and I can get them, I can do this at a higher level. I have more inboxes. I have a better clay plan. I have better things. They don't know that. They just see the results that they get, but you won't be able to get them the results because we know that cold email is largely a math game. It's linear. The more emails you send, the better results you get. I can send more emails than you. Why? Because I have a bigger budget than you. Why? Because I've invested my capital better than you. So know your numbers, run your numbers, and don't do dumb stuff. Now, disclaimer. As my agency, Vince Scale, inch closer and closer to offering educational and mentorship opportunities, I recognize the possibility of a potential conflict of interest, being that I am an agency owner and will be working in close proximity to other agency owners. This is why, to protect the integrity of our work here, my enterprise, and those of who I mentor and work with, this is why we have decided to restrict our client work. Part of why we have decided to restrict our client work to clients doing north of $1 million in annual recurring revenue, and doing so via an invite-only process, meaning we won't cold email anybody. Cool. Now, what I'm trying to say with all this is that you are still very vulnerable at 10K a month until at least 30K a month, if not 50K a month. And the biggest threat isn't even another agency. It is you. It is you as the business owner. It is you as the founder. You might not be able to see this stuff yet. That's okay, but I can. And I'm here to warn you about it and help you turn your little agency into a bulletproof operation. A wealth-generating machine, a wealth-generating vehicle that you can scale up or down at any time. You just literally print money with. But to do that, you must understand and be able to see the business landscape. That is what we're doing today, but you must be able to see. You must be able to see. All the strengths, weaknesses within your business, and the opportunities and threats outside of your business. Now, I will likely add to this playbook, the 10 to 50K a month playbook, in the coming days. But for now, here's a takeaway. If I'm going to prepare you for the success that is waiting for you, then it is my duty to remind you that this is a very cold-blooded sport. There have been times where prospects have gotten on calls with me right after getting off of calls with my competition, my competitors. I have these recorded. Some of the biggest agencies in the space that you guys might know if you've been in the cold email space and marketing and lead gen, deal gen space for a while. Founders who I interact with online, on social media. This is a real thing that you need to be ready for. But more importantly, there's nothing more likely to destroy you than yourself, and thinking you know it all and being sloppy and not doing your numbers. And this tends to happen for some reason at the 10K a month, because the 10K a month is really like the experienced rookie mark. You know what I mean? And I don't say that to offend anyone. I'm just saying. Every leap to the next milestone comes as a result of you closing the knowledge gap. So educate yourself to those milestones. Cool? Cool. Now, my offers and some free stuff. Agency updates. We are currently working exclusively with businesses doing over $1 million in ARR or 80K a month in MRR. It is invite only. We may be hiring 1 to 2 go-to-market engineers in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Just stay tuned. I'm putting the word out early because things are moving fast. If that interests you, stay close and stay tuned for more announcements, and sign up to my mailing list. The link is in the description. Also, a customer success manager as well. And I am working on a mentorship offer. It is in development. Details to be announced by the end of this month. It will be the best program on the market. Period. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Otherwise, see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.